Well, hello, Raven.
Hi, Raven.
I'm glad to see that you're in good spirits today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how did that after you were just laughing a few minutes ago, you had that which looked a little not promising.
Not promising.
No, like you were just laughing, but then when I said I'm glad you're in good spirits, you kind of just
I was agreeing with you. I was like,
were you agreeing?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm glad, you're feeling up today. So, tell me, how has your week been?
My week has been busy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yesterday was Saturday. No, it was Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's how busy it's been. Yesterday was Sunday. So, I went home for the weekend. And then realized that my car was having some issues. It was potentially leaking oil. Like I tried to fill it up with oil.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I've been meaning to check my oil for a hot minute, but when I got to home, I was like, okay, I'm going to check it. So I finally checked it,
Mm-hmm.
and it said it was low, the
Mm-hmm.
little thing. And then when I tried to put oil in it, it was like overflowing. So I was like, what is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And I looked into the oil thing, and it was full. And then I was just confused. And then it was said but it was still low when I checked it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was kind of like there was like some liquid on the concrete. So I was like, is it leaking oil? Whatever. Like I don't know what's happening. So that was frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I was trying to figure that out with my parents. But then I had to be back in Wichita by a certain time because I volunteered my time for work to drive the van
Mm-hmm.
for the family. And so I was basically a whole like hour late for that. I sent them a message and I sent the message to them and I sent the message to another person. And so like that was just a whole bunch of stress. I was trying to get here, but I didn't want to get a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
But then like it was also cool too because I was like in my GPS, it was telling me to go like one way, and I was like, this doesn't sound right. 'Cause it sounded like it was more time.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I looked on my GPS and it was like avoid the toll, so it was a little longer route. So positive was that I figured that out. So I ended up going a shorter route, which saved me a little time. But as I said, I was still a whole hour late, and so like internally, I was just pissed at myself. I was like, Raven, you always do this. You always like overextend yourself. Like always like over plan or
Mm-hmm.
like I plan down to the T in the sense that like if everything works accordingly, everything falls in place, then I'm gonna get there on time. But life happens, and
Mm-hmm.
never like nothing like most things don't always like fall like right into your lap like that. And so, as per usual in Raven style, it didn't happen. And so I was just real irritated with myself that like I didn't properly plan. So
Mm-hmm.
that was, and then like today, I was supposed to go to Walmart to get my oil changed.
Mm-hmm.
But then the man, I guess they were short staffed, and the man was like, and so the man came out, but then he went back in, and like me and this other lady were like, "What's up? What's going on?" She was like, "Someone should go in there," but I was like, "I hate to be the black woman walking in there looking."
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so I went in there. And so I was like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "Well, I have to stay in here because we're short staffed type of thing." But
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, "You open up at 7. It's 7:15. What's going on?" And so basically, we figured it out. And so he ended up coming back outside because someone came. But then after I told him my whole scenario with my car, he was like, "We can't tell you necessarily where the oil's coming from if there's a leak and all this other." He was just being real, like, real vague. And it was just frustrating. I was like, I woke up early in the morning. I had somebody come to go pick me up and plan all these things.
Mm-hmm.
So in that instance, that was good planning, but also like,
Mm-hmm.
um, all these things were happening, and then it's like you come to tell me that you can't really help me the way I needed to be helped.
Yeah.
So frustration, tiredness are like the two, anger three. I guess anger is the overall thing, but those are the feelings I was experiencing this weekend and today.
Okay. Okay, so we have down stress is what you talked about, planning
Mm-hmm.
is what you talked about, frustration and anger.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the cool thing about frustration is that it hides other emotions. And I'm glad that you were able to point out that you were stressed and you were frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, what happens when you feel stressed? Like, what happens in your body when you feel stressed? How do you notice that you are stressed?
Well, shoot. I guess I'm always stressed because my like I feel like I get a lot of tension in my neck. Like you'll see me like move around like this to kind of pop my neck.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, something pops. So I was like, I used to be able to pop my back, but it doesn't work anymore. So I think my stress has moved up to my throat, suffocating me. I'm just joking, but yeah, I think it like just like when I'm just trying to like I feel tension in my neck, and I always feel tension in my shoulders, but I can never rub it out.
So what does that feel like in your shoulders? Like if you were your shoulders, how would you say that feels?
Rubbing my shoulders?
No, if you were your shoulders and your shoulders could speak to you, what would you say your shoulders feel like? What does that feel like internally?
Internally, how do my shoulders? It's just like a pain.
It's like a pain.
Yeah, it's like I guess depending on how I'm moving, it could be a sharp pain or a dull pain. But like it's just a pain that's like a knot kind of that's just there that needs like some type of relief, but I can't get that relief.
Okay. So strain, what about tightness? Do you ever feel like tightness when it comes to like the tension that you have in your neck?
No.
No.
I wouldn't say. I would just say it's like a pain that needs to be worked out. It's not like I need to stretch it out. It's like it needs to be massaged out. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's a stretch. I don't know. But yeah.
Okay.
Or two, like another like symptoms of eczema.
Okay.
And so like my eczema flares up if it's just given that it's cold, it's getting colder, so that's a symptom of it, of the coldness. But like
yeah, because cold equals dry.
Yeah, you have to just nourish your skin, but also that's like when my eczema kind of flares up a little bit. It's kind of a decisive of like, or just it's either because it's cold or because it's like just stress.
So how does that make you feel when you like flare up like that or something? Like,
I used to be like self-conscious of it, but now, I mean, I guess you can kind of say like because if it's on the back of my neck and like my hair is not long enough to cover it, so then it's kind of like I feel kind of self-conscious of that a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I wear scarves.
Okay.
But also too like so I guess it's like a subconscious thing, or then that kind of makes me a little more frustrated because sometimes like eczema sometimes is associated with your diet and what you eat. So I'm like, well, am I eating like crap? And 9 times, well, I haven't necessarily been eating bad, but it just makes me just kind of go in this spiraling thought. I'm a very internal person, so I have a lot of internal dialogue going on in my head.
Okay, so let's stay on that internal dialogue. I want you to talk to yourself like your head talks to you on a regular basis. But this is going to be you.
Me.
Yeah, this is going to be you. And you're going to be your head telling you what your head normally tells you when you're going throughout your day and your planning is not as planned.
Okay. So if I'm going to talk about the other day, so Raven, this is me, regular Raven. Okay, so this is how the day is going to go. So I know I need to be in Wichita at 6:00. And so that means I can leave Kansas City by 3:00.
Not the planning part.
Oh, okay.
What are you saying to yourself when the planning does not go as planned?
Damn, Raven. Why didn't you think this through? Like, you do this all the time, Raven. Or not all the time, but you do it, like, frequently enough where, like, you should be able to think past this. So now I'm going to be late. Now my boss is going to think that I'm, like, just poor planner. And all these people are relying on me, and I feel like I'm not holding up my end of the bargain. I feel like I feel like a failure, Raven. You kind of feel like a failure, but then I have to kind of like, and I also kind of like do like Raven, like it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna go. You're gonna get through this. You're gonna get there in a timely manner. As long as you communicate, it should be good.
Okay, stop. Okay, now I want you to talk to yourself as a friend. Because right now you're talking like there was a lot of negative talk like Raven, now you're a failure and now your boss is going to think all these things about you. And so now I want you to talk to yourself as the positive, like as a friend, how you would tell yourself. All right, you have like 10 seconds.
Okay. Well, Raven, I think as long as you're communicating with the proper people, I think that would be fine. It wasn't, as you said, it was like your planning could have been better, but you're in this situation now. So how can we work to improve it next time, but also just work the situation that we have now? How can you make the situation, turn it into lemonade?
Okay, stop. Okay, do you see how those two things were completely different? So you have like rational thoughts, and then sometimes you have some irrational thoughts. And so we'll talk more about that in our next session.
Okay.
It was good seeing you again, Raven.
You too, Raven.
And I can't wait to see you again in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, Raven.